And we're on air with Perspectives Podcast. Welcome, everybody. My name is Leslie, and I'm always your host. Today with us, we have Satina and Thomas from Thomasinas, an herbal wellness company right here in Harrisburg. If you're in Harrisburg watching us, welcome, guys.
Welcome. Hi.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, it's good to be here.
I appreciate you
Excited.
guys. Thank you for coming on. I really look up to you guys in regards to what y'all do with the herbs you mix. I remember the first time I met you guys, I was just like astounded by the intricacy and the knowledge and the wisdom and the love that went behind all of your products. So today, this episode is going to be all about herbs in every single way possible. If you're on Instagram Live, you can definitely ask us questions, and I can peep them and I move over there. So first and foremost, I don't know who wants to start, but tell us a little bit about your company.
So,
Okay. This is a question that it changes. Our company originally was founded on the intention of supporting women's health through all the stages of their life. But as we've seen, a lot more people need help in education, just knowledge in general, just about other means and ways to take care of your health, besides going to the doctor or having to make ER visits all the time. There's some simpler ways to do that. So we want to just kind of educate the community and eventually get to the point where we are the herbalists in Harrisburg.
Harrisburg's Herbalists.
Yes.
That's
Harrisburg's
cool.
Herbalist.
Fuck. I was like, can I cuss? I was like, this is my show. Yes, I can.
Yes.
That's cool as fuck.
Do what you want to do.
Word. Okay, that's awesome. I really like that. Harrisburg's Herbalist. I really like that. That's awesome. So did you guys always grow up like knowing about herbs, or like, you know what I'm saying? Like, how did you guys both get into, did you guys get into that together when they're married, if, by the way?
Oh, you haven't figured it out yet.
So did you guys like figure that out on your own, or when y'all came together it was kind of like a family, inquiry, family,
I would say it's something that I kind of found out first through my own journey, as far as fixing my own issues with like my skin, stuff
Do you
like
mind
that.
sharing like what did you first notice? You don't have to share all of it, but just one example, I guess.
Well, as far as first notice with like the changes from changing up what I did, I kind of first started with my diet. That's where I started at.
Heard, okay.
It branched off into, once I learned about, the regenerative properties of the body, it makes you want to learn, all right, now what do I need to do to supplement and help that process?
Yeah, because we can do that like on our own. Yeah.
You can do that all by yourself.
Nice.
So,
and how do you get you, and how do you convince you about this? 'Cause it usually happens like that. Like one person realizes this, and then you gotta like sneak it into conversations with the people you love, because you just can't go out like and be like.
It's
Right.
crazy though, because as I was getting together today, right? I was getting myself together, and I actually thought about that. It's like, when did I actually start to get into herbs? Like, that was actually a good question.
Cool.
And I actually thought about it. I said, well, I didn't really get into it until my husband.
Yeah.
But I remember about 10, 12 years ago, I had like a stomachache. And I've always been prone for stomach aches. Like my whole life I've been fixated on, like I stress stomach,
Okay.
It's just one of those things.
It goes there.
Yeah, it goes there first. And it's always been that way. And then a friend of mine, he has said to me, I remember I was going through it, and he's like, Andre's this Rasta. He was like, it's a friend of mine's growing up, and he's like, get some ginger root and chew on it. I'm like, what the hell?
Chew on it, wow.
Do you not know how spicy ginger is? I'm like, get the hell out of here. I ain't chewing on no ginger.
Yeah.
But then you have to stop and think, right? because growing up, everyone giving you what they say. It's always been the black folks remedy, ginger ale for everything. You
What is
ginger ale. You
Ginger ale.
You drink
Dang.
you drink ginger ale for everything when you're growing up when you're sick. Because first thing I always remember, my parents always gave me ginger ale. But when you think about it,
it's ginger.
It's ginger without all the extra sugar.
Go to the source.
Go to the source.
Go to the source.
And I never really thought, exactly, I never really thought about that. I'm like, duh, why not, just go to the source? And of course, as my husband and I grew and watching his ways and watching what he's doing and things of that sort, of course you get tempted. Yeah, of course you just
what are you doing?
But I want to be part of everything.
No, not always. Not easy.
But I always watch. I'm very observant. I watch his ways. I actually watch his skin change.
Wow.
I physically, when you can actually see the proof.
Yeah.
It's different than people tell you, this works, this works. But when you physically actually, I watch my husband's skin change. You can literally see that. I'm like, I need to get on that. This might be something going on here. And so as we grew and you learn and you find it, but then you think about like big pharma and the drugs and stuff like that. All of them is all part of plants. Like they're drugs.
The source.
Right.
The source.
The source is from a plant.
And they want to exaggerate it, right? To make it faster, stronger. We're turning into a society who wants things really, really fast too. Right. So, they do that and we liked it.
Yeah.
We really liked it.
And that's what put us in that fast pace of our world where we're like always we want now. Instant gratification and wonder when we take these herbs now why they don't work like that. Think about that.
Our bodies aren't
we're so used to getting everything instant gratification with medicines, drugs. With the drugs they're pumping into, you have a headache, here, take aspirin. But why do you need aspirin? Maybe it's just water? Maybe you're dehydrated? Maybe your body's just maybe your body's telling you something wrong.
My mom has a lot of headaches and I'll just tell her, I said, Mom, did you drink enough water? And she's like, that doesn't matter, Leslie. And just the disconnection,
That's one of the important knowledge pieces, and I think 2021 is going to be a big year on that part. Even starting with your show, we got another informational class book with the library coming up. But just spreading that knowledge. When I started to learn about the body and what it took to feed it right, water is so important.
It's the first thing you need.
First thing,
all
it's
your body's
everything we're made of.
Like
water.
It's like our body is made of how much percentage is like
70, 75.
Yeah. So then
One of those.
Yeah, and then throughout the day we're still constantly sweating. And if we're not replenishing that, you're just shriveling up your insides, wondering why things ain't you're gunking up the pipeline. Things ain't working out right.
It's dry.
Literally.
It's like a desert in there.
It really is.
It's like a desert.
I think about how much water I drink and I still don't drink enough. So I'm thinking about before I drank this much water, how thirsty, how dry was I? And then I'm like, I look at others that don't drink as much water as me and I don't drink enough water and I'm just like, damn, we gotta do something about this.
Right. Just that small piece. Drinking more water changes things.
A lot of things. Yeah. That's amazing. So, and when I got introduced to herbs, to return to the question, you guys told me yours. My introduction to herbs, when I was little, I always had stomach aches, just like you. Just like you. It was obviously because of the things I ate.
Yeah. That's another story.
My mom, she was like, ¿Quieres agua de manzanilla? Do you want agua de manzanilla? Manzanilla is chamomile. She's like, you want chamomile tea? I never knew it was chamomile till I grew up. I just grew up saying in Spanish, I need agua de manzanilla, I need agua de manzanilla.
Right.
And then as I grew up, when I got into college, I started changing my eating habits, drinking more water, not drinking soda. And I came across the herb chamomile. And I was like, Oh my God. It wasn't just
It just
my,
clicked.
yes. Because you know, you're little, you just like think like, oh, it's because my mom made it. It's nostalgic. It's homey. Maybe, you know, I just believe my mom. But as like chamomile is the number one herb I always have in my house. If I'm missing it, I get annoyed. I have to go buy it right away. I just get mad. I'm just like, why don't I have this beauty? Like, and you always need it before I go to bed. You know what I'm saying? In the middle of the day, if you just want to relax a little bit, take a little sip.
It's an easy supplement. It does. It does.
Yep.
It's a really easy way of just calming yourself down. And people don't realize you don't need all these extra stuff to do so. Herbs will actually help you, and it's so natural, and it costs so much less than what people think they're going to cost you. They're not as expensive as you think.
Not really.
It's like, and a lot of times, some of the herbs we have growing outside in our yard. We really do. Like my mom had nettle growing out in her yard. And what was it, mugwort? I think it was.
Did she do it purposely?
No.
Oh, no, it just grows.
She just built this house. This house just got built there. So it's just growing there. This is just wild herbs just growing. So we ended up picking it. Like I have wild, mugwort and actually nettles at my house.
That is so beautiful.
Personally, he found, personally.
At a gas station.
Yeah.
Growing out of the cracks, but that's how it grows.
It
It doesn't need much of anything.
Yeah.
Very nutrient rich.
Yes. Wow.
Yeah, we're cultivators of what we see around us. Like, a lot of people have missed, like, medicine cabinets is around you. It's always been around you. We have a medicine cabinet. It really is upon what you're intaking, what you're eating, and it really is the natural source going back to your body can do it all. Your body has all the things it needs. Sometimes it just needs those little supplements, but natural supplements, things that actually, you might be just missing the B12. You might be just missing, those little things. But that's when the herbs come in. For me, it was iron.
You told me this story.
Yeah.
That was beautiful.
Yeah.
They have a herbal blend called Pump Up the Iron, and it helped you pump up your iron levels.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yes.
And so you just mentioned like there's a medicine cabinet around us naturally in the natural world at all times. And like people think that's crazy, and I know people joke around, I eat plant-based, like you're eating grass, or when you have teas it's like, oh, like grass from the ground is in your water, like yes. But it sounds so crazy. We're so disconnected from Mother Nature that we think that these plants are like weird to ingest.
They call them weeds.
That's what we were taught.
They're weeds. I'm like, if you don't take, not against anybody's roses or anything like that, because roses actually are really good for you too, but because they're not pretty. And people just think because they're not pretty, they're not useful, and they're invasive. I'm like, but no. They're doing what they're supposed to be doing. This is their ecosystem, and we are part of this ecosystem, and we can actually help this ecosystem by utilizing it. It wouldn't be a weed. It'll just be another natural source. It's like, but
Seriously. And like we've been so prone to quickly get into, our, like you said, our medicine cabinets, but indoor.
Yes.
Our medicine cabinets indoor, and just looking at, what our mom always had on there, or what, the doctor has given us and everything.
Robitussin and stuff.
Dayquil, NyQuil. I fucking hate those medicines, man. My sister will be sick and she's like, I gotta go get NyQuil. I'm like, I have herbs right here for you. Come to me.
We'll figure it out. That's what is there.
Yeah.
It is all.
Did you guys ever, how was you, like before, you were introduced to herbs, like were you guys real quick to get those, medicines off the cabinet? And which ones for you were like the go-to? Mine was ibuprofen. Headache, stomach ache, ibuprofen. Cramps, ibuprofen. I would grab that shit for everything.
Everything. Actually it's funny because even though we've been on our thing
Mine
for
was
about
Mucinex.
Mucinex.
I had like bad sinus issues and stuff like growing up. But I was always, athletic. I was in the Marine Corps, so I was always moving around. So it kept my system moving. So I didn't really get sick often, but when I did, it was for sinus reasons. So mine was like the Mucinex, DM, and taking all that, and after years of like doing it, and then learning different, figuring out like there's actually other things I was doing that was helping it go away, and that really wasn't doing it.
Wow. Wow.
I wouldn't be eating. The body can do more when you're not digesting food. It's you learn more.
And real quick, so what do you do now instead of Mucinex when you do have your sinuses come back or when you're stuffy?
Now,
What's like your go-to?
see, I've totally changed how I eat.
So you don't
I
even
regularly incorporate herbs, so it rarely ever happens unless I went on like
a binge.
food binge from like family holidays and stuff like that. But then
Ain't that crazy? I just asked, like,
carbs.
what do you do now when it comes up? And you're just like, it barely comes up now because my whole lifestyle changed.
Right.
And we don't even think about that. We're always thinking about our medicine, our after the fact. But what about prevention?
Exactly.
You know, like I also on a day-to-day basis drink a lot of random teas, you know, like just random herbs I'm taking for breakfast or lunch, and it's more about maintenance for me, like, and that's also for me, like, I want to learn more about curing something when it does come up, but for me it's never really come up because I'm always like okay, you know. Sometimes, like you said, family vacations or a weekend or cheese looks good, you know, I need to buy it.
Right.
Cheese just looks good. But, you know, on a general basis, like, we're always just maintaining ourselves. So we never really need to, you know, oh my God.
dive back in unless you've just fallen off of the path.
And that happens.
That happens.
That
I mean,
happens.
life
It
things
happens.
happen. But I mean, as long as you have a good knowledge and foundation, you can
Always go back.
you can get back on track.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where were we? Take
So,
two.
yeah, I'm ready. So, then I was, Big Pharma. That's where I want to go with this now.
Our
Wow.
friends. Pharma.
Ugh. And I see Big Pharma roll out all these commercials, literally conditioning and brainwashing us that we're always sick. If you have this cough, you know what I'm saying? There's this new pill. If you have knee pain and knee problems, here's this new drug that we just came up with that can help you more. And like, I don't really watch a lot like TV. If I watch something, maybe like a movie on Netflix, Hulu.
Right.
But like, I have forgotten. My parents still have regular TV,
Yes.
and I'll hang out with them, and I have forgotten how much.
They blast you with that.
Yo, they
Oh
blast you with it.
Yes.
It's like this pain and that pain and this pill and that drug, and I'm just like pacemaker, this pace. You know what I like? Normalizing, normalizing these diseases and illnesses, and then normalizing the medicine that can cure it, rather than working on prevention.
Right.
And it's so scary. It's so scary.
Yeah. It's going back to that instant gratification again.
That's the one.
It's going back to that. It's going back to, okay, take the magic pill to take this. But just like the genie in the bottle, I may grant this. But guess what comes with that? All the side effects that come with it. So, I love
I like
pharma
that.
because pharma says, okay, guess what? You got that. Here's another one to help you with that.
I like that.
Yeah.
Oh, with the symptom of the first one. That's the weirdest one for me.
So you may get heart palpitation, but don't worry. We have with your heart problems, we have this pill you can take here to help you with your heart problem. But with that heart problem, you might get this. So here's another pill for this.
That's the one part I can never get past.
Right.
I
The
got
symptoms.
one issue.
Yeah.
I don't want like 5 others.
Right. And then you go to your
Go past.
parents.
I will figure it out.
And they're also working off of fear. Because how often do you confide in yourself and trust yourself that we will figure it out, that time will help it, that rest will help our illness, that water will help our illness. So that goes, they're playing off of our fear and our mistrust of ourselves.
I mean, the knowledge, the tools that they have are great. The information, it's factual.
It is.
But wait, I'll find another way.
And talk more about that, because I know a lot of people be like, oh, but, you know, we still need Western medicine. You know, technology is so good that it, you know, what they
Western medicine
offer.
is only like 100 years old. Western medicine is only like 100 years old. This planet's much older.
And our people,
There's so much of it.
our
Have lived-
indigenous people,
Have lived much longer.
than Western medicine. I
So
like
what
that.
would
That's
we
all you
go
needed
for?
to say.
When I know that, I'm like, okay.
So what did they do?
So where's the info?
Yeah.
You gotta go find it.
Yeah.
You gotta
It's,
dig.
it's hard to find.
It's very hard to find, and that's the, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but that's where we
instant
come in.
gratification.
Exactly.
And that's where y'all come
That's
in.
where we come in at. Because of that, we know the the trials and tribulations it took to actually try to find this information for. And we're still learning. It's not that we know it all.
Always,
No.
we're always students. I
No.
like how you said that.
Yes, we don't know it all. That's, you know, Thomas is a master herbalist, but as a master herbalist, you're still a student. You're still trying to make sure you can grab this information. You know, there's so many million plants out there in the world.
Yeah, we can't learn all of them right away. Yeah, we're always learning.
You know, that's not a thing.
Different plants go to different regions,
Right.
Why?
different countries.
Yeah.
You
Not
know?
all of them are here right now.
No. And so and there's stuff that science hasn't even, you know, people haven't even discovered yet. You know, there's things that's out there that are, you know, indigenous relatives are still using, you know, out in the native world and that we aren't privy to. That we don't have that. And so we got to realize there's so much more out there than what media has allowed us to see.
I mean, yes, and for example, like psychoactive substances like psilocybin have been around for centuries
Yes.
amongst my people, and psilocybin just surfaced. It surfaced in the 1980s. Was the 1890s? The first white man to travel to Mexico met a healer called Maria Sabina. She was a Mexican indigenous healer, and he was the first white man to go into that country and record what he saw.
Oh, wow.
That's the first record of psilocybin in modern world, white world, America. I don't know where to go with this.
And modern history.
Modern history.
There we go. His story. And his Robert Watson's, because when he went there, she's been using this, and her grandma used this and taught her this psilocybin magic mushroom as a medicine for her people, and they used it differently. They used it spiritually, you know. I mean, which, you know, a lot right now, I'll backtrack. She used it spiritually to heal like her whole community for a very long time.
Right.
When Robert Watson recorded this, you know, it wasn't, you know, talked about or anything till maybe like 20, 30 years later. Then in the 2000s, they started to do experiments with psilocybin, actually recorded and stuff like that. It died down. And then started to resurface in the past 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years.
Right.
Yeah, like maybe like 6 or 5 years. Started to resurface, but they're not using it spiritually. They're using it to cure like mental illness, which goes hand in hand for me. Spiritually, you know, we're healing something, and it heals our mind, body, soul all together.
Exactly.
Right.
But you know, it would sound like heebie-jeebies if they just wrote it down like psilocybin will help your spirit feel love.
Right.
They'd be like,
No.
I don't know about that.
Now we're going into that religion field that people don't like to touch into all of a sudden. That's a whole nother story.
Yeah,
that's a whole
yeah,
nother story.
it
But
is.
that's where that goes into that, you know, because that's a whole touchy subject that
And
people
that's
don't
really
want to go
like
to.
how I got to this point.
tell them.
Starting on the religious, spiritual journey. Learning the rules and regulations. Even in the book it says eat certain things and not eat certain things. It tells you that the plants are for the healing of the nation. So you're actually going to read it.
Healing of the
If
nation.
you're going to read it and follow it, like you got to read the words and do what it says. Like,
Yeah.
That's what you're going to do. But,
And that's the cherry picking of the Bible, you know, of the book. Like,
I'll use this.
yeah.
I may use that.
But I won't tell
I might
nobody
use that.
about this. Like, what happened
Yeah.
to plants? Literally, like, when I'm in, I'll be talking to my family, or I'll post on Facebook when my family follows me, talk about like Mother Nature, and it seems like this whole crazy idea. I'm like, that's the first one.
Right.
Like, that's there's you know some you know short stories, fairy tales, stories, you know, fiction stories to help us understand things, and like there's this one that goes like, we cannot talk directly to Creator. We talk through Mother. You know, we talk through feminine to get to the masculine. We talk through the yin to talk to the yang.
Right. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
kind of like we can't, you know. So it's like Mother Nature is the woman who birthed us. You know what I'm saying? Like, how dare we not even talk about her?
Forget that she's even part. Y'all ain't here every day in her daggone world.
body's made up of it.
y'all in her world, and y'all just go ahead. Do you ever go into your family's house and not say hello? Are you allowed to do that?
Can you imagine?
Are you allowed to? So many times when I'm growing up, you do not go into someone's house without saying hello and giving respect to the homeowner.
Yeah.
At all. So we are living on her home, but we don't give no gratification to us living on her home.
And she gives us everything.
Everything.
Like the nettle you found. What is the herb you found at the gas station?
Purslane.
Yep, purslane.
Purslane.
Mm-hmm.
Just that growing in through the gas station, like she gives us these tools, like she's giving us magic at all times, right here, right here.
Like in your yard, literally, in your yard, you can do so much, but you will have to do the search. You have to do the research, of course.
I mean, but that's why we have Harrisburg's herbalists with us. You guys want to bridge that gap?
Yes, that's exactly what we want to do.
Especially in the lesser fortunate communities.
Yes. In our urban communities,
it would be a big help and a weight lifted off shoulders, just knowing that a lot of things that you can take care of on your own, it's not going to cost you, or it won't cost you that much.
People think it costs money,
Natural medicine. It just might cost you this. That's it.
More water.
Like just drink some water.
Yeah, that's enough. That's the first step.
Drink some water.
All right, so if y'all want to start healing yourselves naturally, the first step is just drink water.
Just drink water. It cures so much.
It does.
It flushes your body. That's all it is. It's just flushing out the toxins. You have issues going in. It's like you're every day you got toxins from going outside, from the air that the exhaust from cars, the stuff that comes down from the air, just so much. You just have toxins that seep into your skin. There's pores. It's seeping in. How else are you gonna get it out? You have to flush your system, and you wonder why you're sick, why you have your skin's turning certain colors, why you're getting eczema, all this stuff. You need to flush. It's just a living organism.
You need to flush.
Body signals, like you were saying, we're disconnected from the body.
Okay, so we're coming into this.
We're ignoring the signals. The discomfort, the dis-ease, those cramps, or we ignore them. We pass them off. Oh man, I'm hungry, or it's just this, or I pop a Tylenol, or add this.
Yeah, real quick.
Pepto was my friend.
That was my childhood friend.
Yeah, that was my friend, Pepto.
That's a good point. Really, just not listening to the body when she's like, hello.
And that's like, and I'm gonna write something about that. Like,
yes.
There's nothing about it that you control. Not a single thing.
Your body,
Nothing that you do you tell it to do. It doesn't. It's just that simple. Like when it's time to go to the bathroom, it says, hey,
I gotta go to the
it's
bathroom.
time to go.
Your body's telling
Your body tells you have to go to the bathroom.
It's time to go to the bathroom.
You don't tell your body you have to go to the bathroom.
When you're hungry, your body tells you
What's
you're
that?
hungry.
Exactly.
Hey, bud.
And you're just kind of
We need some fuel.
Think about it. You're just living inside this organism.
Right.
You are literally. Wasn't there an Eddie Murphy movie like that where it's like he got like people living
trading places?
He had like people. He was like
Yes.
I know.
I know Dave
I don't know
or
what it's
something like
called.
but it's
Right.
like you. It's like, to be honest, it's
Like
creepy.
the
as,
germs.
It's
Yes,
not-
they were supposed to be or something.
Right, but I know it's creepy as it sounds, but your brain is just, you're just literally, it's a spirit inside of you, inside of your body. It's just a spirit, and your body's doing what it's supposed to do. It will do, if you continue to feed it what it needs to do, it will do everything it's supposed to do. You literally don't have, you're on autopilot if you step back.
If you give it what it needs, it will do what it's supposed to do.
Exactly.
Our body's supposed to be thriving.
Okay.
We're supposed to be strong and flexible and move. We're supposed to do, but if we're not giving our body what it needs, then it's not gonna do what it's always supposed to do because we're not nourishing it the right way.
You wonder, like, why can't my body do that? What are you doing? Your body will do it, but what are you doing?
Giving back to it.
Exactly.
So body signals, I really want to dive deep into that. And there might be some people watching this. We're off of Instagram. I'm trying that again. Yeah, so we'll post this afterward. But what are some body signals, you know, through y'all experience? I know I have. I've had
Okay.
some.
Body signals.
All
This
right.
is a good
So
one.
some body signals that, you know, you've
Excuse me.
experienced or seen in others that, you know.
The signals are only something that I can explain from my experience. I mean, we all have the same body parts, pretty much.
Yeah.
I think it should feel kind of similar, but if not, I can put you in the ballpark, like an area where you should get a little tingle.
I like that.
But it's something that you really have to like listen for, pay attention to. You do feel it. A lot of times it's confused. I mean, well, maybe not confused, but like that feeling that we get if somebody says something to us that we don't like. You know where it hits you at?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's that feeling. That's that signal. But like at that point, like, that's a whole like on an emotional level.
Yeah,
Signal.
yeah.
'Cause then you have to let that kind of, you have to sit with that feeling and kind of like feel it and spend some time with it and get to know like what's it doing, how's it affecting you, like it's changing your mood, like are you uncomfortable, like what's it doing? You really gotta like process what's happening inside you.
Yeah.
Because it's trying to go somewhere. It's just energy trying to pass.
And you know, like a lot of times when signals come up, like in the body, we hear it, but it takes a lot of energy to admit we hear it and to accept it, because then that means I gotta do something about it.
That part.
Right.
And so we'd rather just be like,
Deal with it.
I didn't hear you.
Yep.
I'll deal with it.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah,
alright.
'cause
It's not that serious.
we don't want to look at it in the face, because sometimes it tells us about, it makes us think about the decisions we've made in order to get to that feeling, in order for our body to say, hey, this hurts. It's like, damn, like I haven't been taking care of you. So sometimes we don't even want to look at it,
Mhm.
you know. And but that is the thing. And a couple episodes ago, 2 episodes ago, we had talked about sitting in silence. And what that,
watch that.
and what that looks like, you know, like literally, you know, like emptying the mind enough, quieting the external noise enough to be able to hear what is going on inside, what your body, mind, and soul is trying to tell you.
Right.
You know, from a deeper, higher place, not just from the, you know, surface level.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That comes back to meditating. You know, actually sitting there and just being quiet. It is sitting in silence, it's being quiet. I know I have to do that myself a lot too. Just sitting there like, maybe I'm not really hungry. I think I'm just thirsty. Because I have to think about that sometimes.
I
And,
love
you know,
food.
exactly. But then that love of food is like, do I really need it though? Is it just because I want it?
Yeah.
You know, those are the signals, and I have to sit there and actually think, what is what's really? Do I really need this? I just had something not too long ago.
Mhm.
But then yesterday I went a whole day without eating. So why is all of a sudden I'm hungry all the time?
And you're learning your body.
Yeah.
And that's what it means to learn your body.
Exactly.
You know, keep track of what's going on, not judge it.
No,
just
like
be like,
something.
inquiry.
What's really wrong? Are you bored, or are you just
Yeah.
needing something to do with yourself? Like those are all those signals that we kind of ignore.
Yeah.
And then people who are fighting like depression or anxiety, they go for something because it's comfort food.
Mm-hmm.
I'm one. I've always had ice cream. My bestest
Oh,
friend of
oh,
ice
my
cream.
thing.
Ice cream.
Mine
Good
was
old ice
pizza.
cream.
Really?
Ugh.
Good old ice cream.
Yes.
See, and that's what I love this, because like we're healthy eaters and we're mostly plant based.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, like
honest.
we know it's good.
Yeah.
And that's
People
what-
be like, well, you don't.
when
This,
I,
I'm
when
like,
I first did it,
yes,
yeah,
I see what you're eating.
Yeah, people
Yeah,
used
duh.
to ask, like, there was nothing that I wouldn't eat. There's nothing that I couldn't. Like, to me, I consider myself to have an iron stomach. Whatever I wanted, I ate it.
In the past.
Yeah, but then as you get older, things start happening. You're like, wait, like I thought I was allowed to do that.
Your body was like, nah.
Nah, dog, you can't do that.
It's Sean Hurd.
You gotta stop doing that.
And that's why.
And that's years of trying to reverse that.
Right.
Now you talk about, now that reverse cycle comes in.
Yeah, you can't do that no more.
Wow.
It's understandable, and
It's
not
understandable.
Like, it's not like
you gotta respect it.
Yeah, right. You're like,
do because like you did it this way for so long. Like
Yeah.
that's not how life works as a pendulum. So you got to go back.
go
the
all
other
the way this way. Now
Yeah.
you're like,
Right,
everything's
like
good. You're all
been
good.
on full throttle this whole time.
You gotta come.
You got to take your foot off the gas and just let it coast.
Yes. Literally. Dang. And I know we're not the only ones that have been through that. There's people going through that right now.
Yeah.
I know somebody that has. What's when you drink too much alcohol, your liver's like tripping?
Oh yeah, cirrhosis of the liver.
Okay.
Or alcohol, fatty liver.
Is that with alcohol too?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
We
yeah.
do the same thing.
I know someone who's going through with their liver right now, and I'm like, you've been drinking alcohol straight like every day for the past like 5 years.
And no water.
And she don't drink water.
Guess
Livers
what?
are filter organ. We have like 5 filter organs.
We have 5 filter organs.
You got your liver, kidney, I believe, your spleen. There's like 2 others.
Liver,
But,
kidney,
like,
spleen, and 2 others. Cool. That's awesome.
Those 3 are very important.
Yeah.
Just start there.
Yeah. That's beautiful.
And
We
water,
don't even, I didn't even know that. You know
Water
what I'm
is
saying?
what flushes them out.
Then now.
We're going back to water again.
Because then you're
Exactly.
eating, since you're not eating natural foods, certain things that don't mesh
Greasy,
well with,
man-made
with your
food.
vessel. They don't mesh well
Overprocessed.
with the body. So they leave extra toxins in there that have to come out.
And then they go through the liver. The liver is the cleansing organ.
Right. And because they're not natural,
And the kidneys.
it causes those systems to like have to work harder.
They're working harder.
If you're not like drinking enough water, you're not flushing it out. That's when you start to have, those discomforts.
Aren't they
disease,
getting like? Are they just getting
or you
stuck in the
start-
liver?
or
Like
it's
these
just-
toxins?
It's in, or gets once the liver gets overloaded, it starts to travel throughout your body. That's when you get like skin issues.
Think about jaundice, when the yelling on the skin,
Mhm.
yelling in the eye.
Okay, yeah.
The same
Right.
thing, because then you see the toxicity that's going on in your liver because it's overpowered with all the toxic the over alcohol and the fatty. Yeah, exactly. Especially I know in my culture or with my family, with the older men, you always seem like the yellowish eyes.
Wow.
Especially as they get older, you start to see the eyes.
I didn't ever see that. Yeah.
Yes, you can start to see that.
That's
But-
crazy.
But that's also because it's years of drinking alcohol.
Yeah.
And you can see the poison that's happening.
Holy shiznit.
Yeah, it's just, but it can all be reversed. But then we also talk about, decades of people who have drink alcohol. So it's a lot harder for them to do.
It's hard.
It's harder. For
It's
them
hard
to,
to do that.
Right.
Yeah, some
For
of them.
sure. It's
And
definitely
so
not
water will
issues.
flush us out. And what do herbs do then? And yeah, go.
Herbs.
I don't.
Okay,
That's a
so
general question, but like, so water is flushing it out, and what do the herbs come in? Is it like a support? Is it like a helping hand?
Herbs is support. Herbs, there's an herb for every organ.
There's an herb for every
Yeah.
organ.
Helps support that organ's function. If it's
Helps support the organ's function.
Mhm.
As simple as that.
provides extra nutrients for that organ.
Because the body is naturally doing things, what it's supposed to do. The liver is doing what it's supposed to do. And there's an herb that comes in and is like, hey, let me help you out.
Exactly.
Help you get these
Wow.
toxins
Hey,
out.
buddy, how you
Yeah,
doing?
think
Help
about it like
strengthen
that.
you,
Let me go ahead and help you
For the next
here.
Yeah. Can you name? I know you know can you name like 2 for the liver?
2 for the liver.
You gave me some.
I did.
I
On
know,
my list. Hold
but
on.
Because there's so many,
It's
I don't even like try to.
No.
There's a lot.
No.
Serious.
Yeah,
I don't
Do you
try
have a
to
little
remember.
book that you write
Oh, yeah.
everything down? Like,
Oh,
is this
yeah.
your little herbal book?
But I do.
we do. We have a.
He got it. He has it.
Let me see what I have.
That's
in here.
one of many books
Yes,
that we
this is
have.
the
Actually,
first one.
That's so beautiful.
We
This
have
is the first one I
many.
started.
And these are your resources, though. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? This is what we turn to. This is in our house. This is something we turn to when we need that reminder. You know what I'm saying?
But
That is so
I can't
beautiful.
keep it all up there. There's like so much to learn.
Of course. While you're looking for that, I had called Thomasina because my dad was having problems with his liver. And as Harrisburg's herbalist, they literally answered the phone and we went through a consultation regarding my dad's health. And you guys gave me a whole recommendation And you know, I was expecting you guys to just send me herbs. These herbs will just help for his liver. No, they sent me. He needs to exercise more on a daily basis, move his body. He needs this amount of water. He needs to do this. And I was like, oh, this is a whole lifestyle change. Like I know, and I knew that, but I guess you know, like. It really is an all-in-one. You know what I'm saying? Like you guys gave me more than, and that's beautiful.
That's really what it is. Like, and I'll say this even to those who are like skeptical about using herbs and still want to, you know, use the doctor.
No sense.
Even with the stuff they give you, if you're still doing things the same way, I don't see that working either.
You're not going to do it.
Like it's not going to change anything. I'm just.
You can't do
and
that.
people think popping that medicine is like, oh, I popped the pill, now I can go do whatever I want.
It don't work that way.
Like laxatives. People do that with laxatives. Like my friend, he's like, yeah, I want like cheese, and I'm like, didn't you say like she's telling her? He's like, yeah, just pop a laxative right before. I'm like, okay.
What?
It's kind of like a cheat. It was like a kind of cheat pill for him, you know. So like I was like, okay, great way around it. You know, very clever. But I was just like, we should just not eat the pizza, my man.
No, don't.
Or eat it without the thing that causes you that issue.
Yeah.
That's
Find a substitute.
For the cheese.
It's easy.
Yeah, that's for us. We just eat cheeseless pizza. Like I'd rather just go for.
I hate cheeseless pizza.
Really?
I don't like it. I would rather not eat it. It makes me sad. It makes me think about real pizza. Yeah, because I'm just like this. I remember when I used to eat reposado.
You know what? There's a pizza place in Philly that we had. It's really awesome. But it had cashew cheese. It had cashew ricotta.
Yummy.
Cashew ricotta cheese to it. My God, to this day, I dream about this pizza again. But it was the most amazing pizza I've ever had. And I know cheeses are a devil. It's always been mine.
The dairy cheese?
Yes.
The cow cheese?
Yes, there is the devil. And it does make things yummy, but on top of that, it does not do what it doesn't do anything. It makes
our body sticky.
Yes,
it goes in there and it's just like
that same thing that we see when we go like that with the cheese.
It's so
same
good,
thing that's going inside of our stomach.
She be getting me, and that's like that's why I always say I'm mostly plant based because like that cheese looks good and like I'll have a bite sometimes. Like you know what I'm saying?
Hey,
and that's but I know what to drink after. I know like if I'm eating cheese, I'm like, all right, I'm ready. Bottles of water. I have tea at night, tea in the morning. Like I'm cleansing for like 2-3 days after the fact, and I'm ready for it. And you know what I'm saying? Like
for us, we have gut heal.
Right, so that's
the gut heal. Is this a new blend that I need to buy myself?
What?
Can I just buy all of your stuff?
So that's
you
the
know,
one.
you know it's crazy
Because you know a lot of
gut
this stuff gives you like gas and bloating.
Yeah,
discomfort. Yeah, knocks it out.
Yeah.
You feel that.
With the gut heal, we've given that to our family members, but we actually make it in the jugs for them.
Like the tea you already make?
We make it. We actually make it. We brew it. We actually
go over. We'll just bring some.
We'll just
make a big pot.
We make a huge pot because it's like when we make it. It's
y'all
like
should sell that.
And so we actually we can.
I was gonna say like we would buy that.
But then so we drink the gut heal. We drink it right before we know things are about to go down. When shit's about to go down, we know shit's about to go down.
Before Thanksgiving, did y'all go ham on Thanksgiving?
What did we do? Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we did.
So now, I've talked to my family and I've let them know that we're like vegan. So like, I told them it's gonna be disrespect now. Like if I keep showing up and we ain't got no vegan.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just
Aww.
gonna be real with
us?
Aww, that's cute. They make some for you?
Oh yeah, they always do.
Yeah.
We still eat fish too, so you know,
we're
make sure they got that.
Definitely.
But, yeah.
But still, the rice, the potatoes, the bread, the stuffing, like it's still vegan, but that shit. Still carbs.
It's the heavy carbs. Still gonna put you to sleep.
Yeah, still gonna give you the itis.
You still can't get around it because for some reason fresh vegetables to some family members just seems like.
Yo, the fact that people think vegetables are weird, like I get so weirded out.
Oh my God, to have a meatless anything. They're like, oh, just take out the meat and just leave it the way that it is. But I'm like, no, add veggies, add more veggies to it. No.
What do you mean?
I had to talk to my buddy. Right?
That's amazing.
Going to his house on Monday. He was like, all right, how about I make you some lasagna? You know, I make my own sauce and stuff, so I just won't make it without any meat. I'm like, all right, that's cool, but like, what are you putting in it? He's like, nothing. Like, what?
Where's the vegetables?
Like, wait. Like,
Just pasta and sauce.
Right. Like, what? And cheese. Like,
No.
like I'm already stretching with eating the cheese.
Right,
bro.
right.
And
I'm doing that for you.
I just did a 3-day fast, so I'm like, I'm really like diving in with this cheese like, after this fast.
Yes.
So I'm like, Ira, you got to put some vegetables in there. Put some mushrooms in there.
Yeah.
You know, put some tomatoes.
He's probably like, damn,
peppers in there, bro.
true.
You got to put some in there. He's like,
No, he thinks it's work. that would work. That would work. We tried it because we're coming, of course, on the vegan potluck. We tried to convince him because we're gonna make
Delightful's potluck is this Sunday, the 24th. It was invite only because of COVID restrictions, but
yes, unfortunately,
we will all be invited one day.
yes. So
What are you guys gonna make?
we're making plantain lasagna.
Oh my god, I'm so excited! I never had that.
It is one of our absolute favorite meals.
That's so
we love
wonderful.
it because it was a meal that we didn't think it would turn out as well as it did. It's like
Okay.
sorry.
So there's
No, sorry.
SpongeBob and then Krabby Patty. You know how you're all excited about that? That's how I feel about this plantain lasagna every time I make it. I get so excited about it.
Okay.
I'm like, oh, it's time to eat it. I absolutely love.
I'm excited. I'm excited for it. Yeah,
I absolutely love the plantain lasagna. So yeah.
That's wonderful. And and I was like, damn, we got onto food, but it really is a whole lifestyle change. Like, herbs like support us as we're moving towards this new lifestyle of
Yes.
just being healthier, feeling better on a day-to-day basis, on a second-to-second basis as well. And I feel like in my perspective, like herbs and water and veggies are the missing component for a lot of us, and we're feeling a lot of pain in some places, and those are the missing components, honestly.
Right.
Sometimes, in my opinion,
Sure.
like we've forgotten, we're disconnected, we're not listening to our bodies when it tells us to drink water or hey, don't do that. You're just like, but I like it. So we're so disconnected from all of these signals, like we said earlier, that we're getting on a day-to-day basis as well. You guys are awesome.
Herbs are just help and they just supplement. We talk about the food because we make herbal blends of seasoning blends. We make herbal,
Of what?
We make herbal seasoning blends to add in.
Oh, seasoning.
Seasoning. So we make herbal blends and we add extra seasoning components to actually help you. So even
Y'all sell this?
yes, we actually
Where?
She's like where?
At your stand?
Yeah.
We
Is
have
it
an
new?
Well, no,
It's not new.
it's
It
not-
was just like it was on the shelf. We still were making labels and
Yeah,
stuff like
it's
that.
one of those things. So
What?
we have an Italian blend that's good to help for your joints and
What?
do you already use Italian seasoning? So then we add extra herbs in it to actually help with the support of your joints. We have a Cajun blend, and it's
This is awesome.
a Cajun seasoning blend, but it's not just Cajun seasoning blend. Because now you're going into our kitchen. Because in our kitchen, when we make lasagna, when we make our food, we always put extra herbs and everything we eat. Herbs ain't nothing but a plant, right?
They're nothing but that.
Yeah.
And they have flavor to
Girl,
them.
what you telling?
And they heal us.
Yeah. So then it's like it's our magic. Herbs are magical. And so we use them in everything we do. Like literally from right down to our hair products. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like we use herbs in certain hair products that we use. He's using rose water inside of his hair. You gotta realize that we have gotten so used to having these big companies turn herbs into something disgusting in a sense.
Non-existent.
They're processed. It's they're absolutely processed. And then we're wondering why we're turning.
What's
into
processed?
If they are there, if they do
the
use
products
herbs,
that's out there that people are.
They say herbs on them or something.
Yeah. Well, just think about
even in the ingredients.
just in the ingredients. Think about
Okay.
hair products that you go out there says natural organics products for your hair or whatever, and then you read the label, you got more of everything else that you can't read. But do you realize you have products that's in your home
That's right in your backyard. That's wild that we don't know about.
Exactly. That's there that you can actually use in one way. Yes, it will take a little work, but guess what? But guess what? Everything that you do should not be instant gratification. Love the process. fall in love with the process is what I've learned from you. It's all for that paper that you given me that I still have it up there. Fall in love with the process of everything you do.
Yay.
Exactly.
That's so
It's a
beautiful.
process. It's definitely a process.
It really
It's not a, oh, well, I drink this tea this week and it's beautiful.
That's it, right?
Yeah.
If that's the kind of stuff you're looking for, then
And that's
you might as well just keep going the way you're going. That's not how this works.
It's not how it works, and that's why when people try to transition, it's uncomfortable because it takes more time, and it's different than what they're used to, and it takes patience, and a lot of us don't have that.
The amount of time it takes depends on the amount of commitment you're willing to give.
That's beautiful.
Yes. It can go a lot shorter if you go ahead and make sure that you're committed to
If
it.
you're there, yeah.
You know, but we're all human. We always strive off, we move off, and that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
But making sure you're coming back to that point.
Yeah.
You know, to keep yourself on that.
But that instant gratification then leads people, because when things take time, when the herbs take their time to heal us, specifically, that instant gratification for people, you know, it's just, it didn't work that one time. What do you mean? I'm
Exactly.
like, wait. You only took the tea, you drank the tea one time and it didn't heal you?
Even if you drank the tea for a week, please realize these are not.
Because if you're supposed to get some magical tea like that, I'm surprised you didn't go bankrupt buying it.
It really is. The only tea that I can say
I'm surprised you
was
didn't go bankrupt buying it. Because if you're supposed to drink one cup and it's supposed to be all good after that, you're going to show me where that's at.
The only tea that I can say that would like heal me right away is if I have a stomach ache and I drink chamomile tea. But that's not like a full healing. It's not like a disease or illness I have that's like long term, that's chronic, that I'm healing. It's like it's a in the moment like stomach ache. I drink a little bit of chamomile tea and it makes me better. But if I have consistent stomach aches and I drink one cup of chamomile tea, it's not gonna help you. It's not what I'm saying, and it's not what, you know what I'm saying. I just want to make sure we're saying that like this is a, like if I have a little. Yeah, like if I have chronic joint pain, like no. If I'm drinking one cup of something, it's not gonna be what.
No.
What we're talking about here. This is like, how long did you drink your iron tea for?
That
you drink it twice.
I still have to take it. Like it's still a maintenance thing. It's not something that you just like we talk about. You drink chamomile tea, just a cup chamomile tea. If I don't continue to drink it so I will go back and I can feel my body. I can feel myself getting colder. I can feel like everyone around me is just all warm and stuff like that, and I'm just like, why am I so cold?
Wow.
And I have to think back. It's like, how have I been eating lately? What have I been intaking lately?
Contemplation.
Yeah, like taking in self-responsibility upon what
Thomas was like forcing the iron tea down your throat for a little bit because you didn't like the taste.
I hate the taste.
How long ago did this start? This iron tea experiment with y'all?
This is before we used Thomasinas, so.
Yeah, so everything started, you know.
Everything started way before.
I, started.
So it had been, it was years ago, probably 3 or 4 years ago.
3 or 4 years ago, and you're still taking it. It's maintenance.
It's maintenance.
That's wonderful.
It's not something that I've always, because, you know, since I was younger, anemia has always been an issue.
Yeah.
You know, and then as each kid, of course, that got worse. I've never been able to donate blood, like when I was during that time frame. I'm finally able to now, but during that whole time, I was never able to donate blood.
And Thomas, if it was up to you, like how many times a day would have she been drinking it? Like,
I mean, I would say 3.
3 times a day. Word.
Try to get 2. You find other ways also to incorporate it. So we only cook out of cast iron skillets.
Correct.
You ain't gotta overload on one thing.
Yeah.
Spread it out over a couple things if you can.
It's the whole part of changing your lifestyle. You know, I have to incorporate more greens into my diet. I had to change the way that I was eating, take out other things, add these other things. You know, it's not just one thing that does it.
And that work we don't want to do as humans, as that instant gratification. Like, you see what you just said. Like, you had to do all these things. I'm just in my head. I just went like, oh, like what? You know what I'm saying? But like, you have to do the work. You gotta look it up.
Gotta do the work.
And then I was so much more unhealthier then, you know, so you're talking then was like what, I was maybe 339 pounds overweight. I've, over this time frame with changing my whole lifestyle, you know, I've lost over 140 pounds during this time frame. Well, I guess around there, somewhere around there. Maybe a little bit more, but it's around there somewhere. So thank you.
You're welcome.
It was definitely a journey, but what I found is that changing all the lifestyle, it actually helped all the other ailments as well. You know, that it helped take the supplements, I helped the supplements help my body. If that makes sense. Like I went ahead and took out all the overprocessed food.
I got it.
Yeah, I took that stuff out, you know, so now the herbs can come in and help my body actually heal.
Because if you're taking the herbs without eating the right food, still, it's like taking that Western medicine and then still doing what you're doing.
It don't make a difference.
It's a whole lifestyle change.
It doesn't make a difference.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
You gotta add, because I mean, not everything has all that you need. Yeah, you could have a nice bowl, but it's not giving you that complete mineral balance. You know, vitamin mineral balance that you might need, especially if you don't have a colorful plate. You must have a colorful plate: red, yellow, green. You know, those different shades of color
Yes.
to feed yourself the right nutrients. If you look at your plate and it's all tan and brown, where's
your
the color?
nutrients?
Yes.
Yep. Eat your vitamins.
I didn't have that many colors in my plate today. It's okay.
It's okay.
We wake
Just
up
one day.
tomorrow.
Right.
You gotta make better decisions.
Exactly.
That's all it is. I used to get overwhelmed, like, "Ugh," but no, like we got tomorrow to do it.
Exactly. It's a whole other time to make
I'm
it
not
happen.
talking about orange like mac and cheese. It's really not orange.
He
if
said,
you
"Stop
ask
playing
me.
with your child." All right, guys. You know, so we're actually gonna try this for the first time. You guys broke in my new beanbag, so this is what we're gonna do. This is going to be our first segment, and then we're gonna come back on. It's like a little intermission. We're gonna see how that goes for the first time. If y'all are cool being the first people to do that with me.
Sure.
I like being the first.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all right. Y'all the
I like
first.
that. I'll be the
Mama
first.
Jenny for the first time. All right. We'll be back.